Welcome back to Love. Is it enough? Yes, that's right. Remember that name change. Yeah. Love. Is it enough? We're back with our three-part series from fairy tale to reality, talking about those 5 steps of building authentic relationships. Yes. In our last 2 segments, we talked about steps 1 through 5. Steps 1 through 4. But before we hit step 5, let's say a little bit about our sponsor.
Yes. WYTV7.org is a nonprofit television station that sponsors shows just like ours, Love, Is It Enough, that helps educate, empower, and encourage our communities. Please consider donating by going to WYTV7.org and click that orange tab and donate now.
Click the orange tab and donate now. Yeah. Before we jump into level 5, let's just go back and do a quick recap of level 1 through 4.
Okay, level 1, I'm sorry, I did not prepared here. Level 1 is the general communication level.
General communication is when you first meet somebody. It's not deep communication. You don't blurt out all your whole guts and life story. It's just when you first met somebody. It could be at an airport, bus station, grocery shopping, at your school, at your job, just passing by. Very quick meeting, not a lifetime story.
And no expectations on either party.
No expectations on either part.
So level 2 is the exploratory communication.
This is where you have decided you want to invest a little bit more, investigate a little bit about this person, see is this relationship worth building, worth putting time into it. And again, this is any type of relationship. This can be friendship, this can be romantic, this can even be family members which you don't have a good relationship with that you're trying to build. And at this level, again, there's no expectations.
No, you just begin to just say a little bit about yourself.
Right. You reveal a little bit more about who you are, find out a little bit more about who they are.
Yes. And level 3, personal feelings and experiences that shape our beliefs.
Right. This is now where we're starting to shed ourselves, share ourselves. Yes. I said shed ourselves. Starting to share ourselves, our beliefs, our experiences that shape who we are, why we think about a certain thing a certain way based on our beliefs and our experiences. And this is where we're starting to share it with that person. And in this level now comes a little expectation.
Yes, taking risk.
Taking risk, right. It's not big expectations at this level. It's very small expectations. And it's mutual expectations between the two people. It's not one person thinking something's going to happen and the other person expecting something to happen. It's mutual expectation that has been agreed upon between the two people. And it's a give and a take type of situation going on.
Yeah. And level 4 is who I am.
Level 4, that's what it is. Who I am.
Is that the stage you build a relationship?
Who are you?
I'm your beautiful wife.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. So now we're going to talk about level 5. My expectations, my emotions, and my desires.
And this is the deepest level of communication and intimacy. So when we're talking about intimacy, we are not talking about sex. Sex can be a result of a certain type of intimacy within a relationship. But do not get it twisted and think sex is the ultimate expression of intimacy, because it is not. Sex actually is an expression of emotion and attraction more than it is of intimacy.
Yeah. A lot of people figure, okay, now we're at this point, now we can start having sex or whatever. So in my opinion, once you start having relation with one another, it's like everything else is not important anymore.
Everything changes with sex.
The games.
Yes. And it's no need of doubting, no need of kidding yourself, playing games. Everything changes when sex enters the room.
Yeah.
But this level of intimacy is the highest level of intimacy because we are sharing our desires. What else are we sharing?
Not only are we sharing the feelings, but we are showing emotions.
We're showing emotions,
vulnerability.
So we're sharing our emotions. We're sharing our vulnerability. We're sharing the things about ourselves that make us us. And not only sharing that, but we're showing the emotional content and baggage that comes along with that. Like it could be a deep-seated hurt, right? And so you can share a hurt with someone, that really hurt me, right? And that's it, right? But in this level, we're showing the emotional baggage that came along with the hurt, right? We're being vulnerable enough to say, not only, hey, this hurt, but this really hurt me. And we're showing those emotions that come along with that. And we're trusting the person that we're being intimate with in the moment, because showing emotion and feelings, that is intimacy. So we're trusting the person that we're being intimate with in the moment, that they are going to, one, keep what we're telling them, two, not judge me for telling them that, and three, support me. And that's where the expectation comes in.
Yes, and sometimes I think during relationship building, a lot of people get to this level 5, they jump that way up to level 1. And sometimes when we're in a relationship, it's like we do the relationship backwards. Okay, we're gonna start off with sex. We're gonna start off with intimacy. So when you start off with that, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't leave room for anything else, other than intimacy.
If you look at the steps and go through them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and build a relationship, you can actually go back and see where in your own life you have made mistakes in relationships, because whether it's being really intimate or having sex with someone, and we're separating the two on purpose, right? So whether it's being really intimate with a person, showing my emotions and my feelings and my baggage, or having sex with a person, if you do that in level 1, you have ruined your relationship because you haven't built the trust or the expectations that we talked about. The 3 expectations that we talked about that we expect that person to do, right? So you haven't built that in.
I don't know.
So how can you expect the person on level 1 to keep what you said?
Exactly, that's good.
You can't. How can you expect the person on level 1 not to judge you?
Because they haven't built the trust.
They haven't built the trust, right? How can you expect the person on level 2 not to judge you? Can't, because you haven't built in any of the work that it takes to get there. So sometimes we're so guilty of throwing ourselves out there that we ruin something that could be great. So level 5 is true intimacy. True intimacy.
Yes. To every word of it.
So true intimacy, again, is this sharing of our emotions, our sharing of feelings, and our sharing of baggage. And so we want to talk about baggage a little bit more on the other side of this next segment, on the other side of this segment, because we all carry baggage.
We all do. Some may not want to admit that they do, but we all carry it.
Some folk got a whole truckload of baggage coming behind them in the next relationship. I mean, a whole 18-wheeler. You seen the 18-wheelers? They got 2 18-wheelers. It's the one 18-wheeler. Yeah, that's some people baggage. They got all that drama. That's a lot of baggage. That's a lot. And then you have to be careful how you unpack the baggage, right? You got to be careful how you unpack the baggage. So we want to talk about this because this is how you really explore intimacy with emotion and sharing the baggage that you have. We'll be right back after these quick commercial breaks. Welcome back to
Love. Is it enough? I thought you was gonna say is love enough.
No, I got it. I got it. So we're back, and right before the commercial break, we were talking about baggage.
Ooh, yeah.
And all of us carry baggage.
Yes,
and in a relationship, whether it's platonic or it's romantic, we have baggage.
Yes.
We have baggage that our friends have to deal with.
Yeah.
We have baggage that our romantic partners, our husbands, our wives have to deal with. And so it's a way to unpack the baggage that does not damage the relationship. Do you have baggage?
Just a little bit. I got a little carry on.
Little carry on baggage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Just a little bit.
Maybe, you know.
That's 20. I mean, when we married 28 years,
Mhm.
so I came into marriage with baggage. So I can admit I did have baggage.
You had baggage?
I had baggage.
Did we unpack it all?
Yeah, we unpack it all. 28 years. I might have one piece of clothing left.
Make sure she had on baggage back there. No.
I might have one piece of clothing left in my baggage.
But we both had baggage.
Yes.
And so when you are building a relationship and you are trusting each other,
Yes.
and you have put those expectations out there that are mutual expectations. I keep saying that because you have to have a mutual expectation. I can't have an expectation that's unspoken in my head, like the story in level we told in the first segment. She had an expectation that was unspoken in her head,
Yes.
that was not mutual or shared. That's not a good expectation.
No.
That will damage the relationship and create baggage, right?
Right.
We want to get rid of baggage, not create baggage.
That's right.
And the way we do that then is we have a trusting relationship. And now that we are trusting each other,
Yes.
I can start sharing not only my experiences, but I can start sharing my baggage, right?
Right.
Why do you get angry so quick? Normally it's baggage,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So now we can start talking about that thing that's making us get angry so quick, right?
Right.
Right. And normally what happens in a relationship, and I will get some people that will say, nah, that's not true. You're right. But normally what happens in a relationship, at first, that doesn't happen, right?
No, it doesn't.
The person is not getting angry so quick, right?
Right.
But later on in a relationship, because they want to start sharing that baggage, those triggers are coming out. And instead of sharing the baggage, they're getting angry, right? Or, why do you want to spend time with me anymore?
Because you work too much.
Baggage. Baggage.
Yeah.
So it's normally baggage, right?
Right.
Or, big one, when it comes to couples, why is our sex life down? Not ours.
Oh,
but why is
definitely not. Yeah, but that's baggage.
That's baggage. Normally it's baggage.
Yeah.
Normally one of the partners in a relationship, and sometimes it can be the male. It's not always the female that backs away from the sexual table. Sometimes it is the male because of baggage. So what you have to do then is start unpacking that, sharing those experiences that's making you back away from the relationship, sharing those experiences that's the triggers in your life, and trusting your partner with that, right?
Right.
I have to trust you with the baggage, right?
Right.
I have to trust you with the baggage, right? And then this is the big part. I have to trust you that when we get into a heated discussion, you're not going to do this. Hold it up into my face.
See?
Right. Hold the baggage up, right? I got to trust you that you're going to get rid of that from me, that you're going to handle that from me. And I'm going to do vice versa for you. This is real intimacy. This is what real intimacy looks like. Real intimacy is handling my baggage that's ruining or hurting or damaging who I am to the point is damaging our relationship.
Yes.
That is real intimacy. This is the emotion that's attached to this baggage. Can you handle this? Yes, I can. And if you can't handle it, you have to be honest enough to say, this is a bit much. I need a moment to process it. But trust me, I'm not going to betray you or hurt you with the information that you share.
Yeah. And I think the biggest problem for me, I think when we first got married was me expressing how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've always held in how I feel. I'm like, okay, so what's the point? So I had this wall built up, a tall wall. I know you know I had to build. So I had to get to a place where I'm comfortable enough. Well, you made it comfortable enough for me to start expressing myself.
Yeah,
you did. It started with a small. Yeah, you hit it hard and like a little piece fell off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it took a while, and you made it easy for me. You didn't badger me. I said, "Okay, girl, now old as you can't sit here and express yourself and tell you what's going on." We didn't have that. You made it easy for me to express myself.
Well, because I wanted you to trust me with what was making the wall. So the wall was built because of something, and so we had to get to why the wall was built, right? I jokingly say we tore the wall down, but we couldn't tear the wall down until we dealt with the why. The wall was a result of the why, right? The baggage is the why. So once we deal with the baggage, then it's easy to tear the wall down. The wall, most of the time, the wall will come down on its own. You don't have to tear it down; it's going to fall down.
Yeah.
But if you never deal with the why and that's focused on the wall, which sometimes in relationships we are guilty of, right? Because and again, it could be either partner. It could be the male or the female in the relationship. This is something that, I'm learning the older I get from having authentic relationships and having authentic conversation with men. There are a lot of men that hold up ideals of what a man should be because of baggage, right? So they play the field because of baggage, or they believe in having all these conquests because of baggage. And when you deal with the baggage, the wall comes down.
Yes, because baggage can create all kind of problems, issues if it's not dealt with. You just can't overlook the baggage and expect for the relationship to get better.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to deal with the baggage. There's no getting around it. There's no, well, I'll just leave that there and give it to whenever. So if you just leave it there, when you gonna go back and deal with it?
When you gonna go back and deal with it? Hurt, miscommunication, betrayal, lies, all of that, deception, all not having expectations met, all of that is baggage that we haul into our next relationship. So we take all of that stuff that happened to us, right? And we bring it right into our next relationship. We do it with our friends. We do it with our spouses. We do it with our boyfriends and girlfriends. If we're really honest, our besties, right? Our best friends, they get baggage stuffed on them all the time.
And then the thing about it, you drag that to another relationship. So when you get baggage from that relationship, you got baggage.
You got more baggage on top of more baggage, on top of more baggage. And you have to start to deal with the baggage. And dealing with the baggage with a partner in a authentic relationship is really being intimate enough to say, I trust you, you trust me, help me get rid of this. So it's not damaging who I am. So I can be in an authentic relationship with you and not damage you and give you baggage. Listen, well, our time is gone. We want to thank you for joining us on Love. Is it enough? Tell them how the people can reach us.
Listen, do you have a unique story you would like to share with Love? Is it enough? Or even you might have a question for Let's Ask Mama. You can contact us at gtlm.isloveenough@gmail.com. Please join us next week for another episode of
Love. Is it enough?